What do you say? Let's lift our heart in praise. Early in the morning, when I rise, I lift my hands in praise because I'm alive. And late at night, when I lay down, I lift my heart in praise for the love I found. And I sing, ooh, 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 for the love I found. Early in the morning, when I rise, I lift my hands in praise because I'm alive. And late at night, when I lay down, I lift my heart in praise for the love I found. And I sing, ooh, 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 for the love I found, for the love I found, for the love I've found. Thank you for singing with me. I know you did. I know you did.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Olympia's online Sunday streaming service. I'm pleased that you're with us today. Hey, you know what? In Unity, we honor all faith traditions and all paths to God. And this is our opportunity to begin with prayer. So please join me. Sweet Spirit, we open our hearts, our minds, every cell of our bodies to the conscious awareness that the divine presence is right here, right now. It is in God that we live, move, and have our very being. So we invoke this presence that we may move into a greater awareness of the divine in all circumstances, in all places, and all people. That we may be the conduits of love. We open to the truth that this is our divine nature, love itself. As we bring our consciousness to this focus of love, we invite in that feeling, that experience of love in this very moment. We can love our lives. We can love the people in our lives. Let us love the planet Earth and one another. In this moment, we know that the energy that is the truth of us, the God energy, the love energy that flows through us is moving beyond our physical selves and blessing all of those today who may be in grief or lack or fear or pain. And we bless them with our love. For truly that love is the love of God. We're so grateful for this opportunity to move into the expression of the truth of our divine natures and love. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Amen. Hey, folks, let's have a little more music.
We offer one another kindness, one another grace, because we are love, because we are love, nothing less than love. We offer one another nothing less than love. We offer one another kindness, one another grace, because we are loved, because we are loved, nothing less than love. We offer one another kindness, one another grace, because we are loved, because we are loved, nothing less than love, nothing less than love, nothing less than love.
Hey, friends. This morning I want to begin with a quote from John Shelby Spong. The primary doctrines of the Christian faith were built to address a human condition that is simply not true. There was never a good creation that was followed by a fall. There was never a perfect man or a perfect woman who fell into sin in an act of disobedience. That account is not true either historically or metaphorically. Human beings are emerging creatures. Human beings are a work in progress, neither perfect nor fallen. They are simply incomplete. Human beings do not need to be rescued by a human sacrifice or saved from a fall that never happened, even a mythological one. Human beings cannot be restored to something they have never been. Human beings do not need to be saved. Human beings need, rather, to be empowered to enter into and grasp the fullness of their humanity. They need the means to journey beyond their traditional limits. These words from John Shelby Spong are as applicable in the unity teachings as they are within his own personal theology that he developed over his life. Today, I want to talk about our experience as spiritual beings and human beings, because I believe and I think that we teach that our experience is a spiritual experience. Being human is a spiritual experience. One of Charles Fillmore, our co-founder Charles Fillmore's most important theological teaching was love, divine love. He says that our divine nature is love, and that living from our divine nature frees us. This is our affirmation today. Living from divine nature frees me. The quote from Acts, "In him we live and move and have our being." I would change that to say, in God we live, move, and have our being. Today I want to talk about John Shelby Spong and unity teachings, Charles Fillmore. I also want to show you a video about what we as a community are doing in the practice of loving as a community. You know, the idea that we should love humanity instead of seeing it as something that is in sin has been around since Charles Fillmore started his work as a theologian, although not educated by any great university. He sat around and prayed and studied and read, and he came to a belief that we are not born in sin, that we are born and that our nature is of God itself. And our highest nature is love. You know, Marianne Williamson wrote a book many years ago now called Return to Love. And that is the basic teaching, I believe, of Jesus, is a return to love. So Charles Fillmore, what he said was, the true church is not made of creeds and forms, nor is it contained in walls of wood and stone. The heart of humanity is its temple. And the Spirit of truth is the one guide to all truth. When we learn to turn within to the Spirit of truth, who is in each one of us for our light and inspiration, the differences between the churches of humanity will be eliminated, and the one church will be recognized. Now, I think that he meant the one church that is love. Today, I honor the life of John Shelby Spong specifically because he has made such a difference in the world of religion. He passed last Sunday, September 12th. He was born in 1931, and what he leaves behind is a plethora of writings, books that he wrote about his understanding of theology. He wrote books, well, I think there were 26 or more books altogether, but books like Why Christianity Must Change or Die, Biblical Literalism, a Gentile Heresy, Reclaiming the Bible for a Non-Religious World, Living in Sin, A Bishop Rethinks Human Sexuality. And of course, his last book, Unbelievable, Why Neither Ancient Creeds nor Reformation Can Provide a Living Faith Today. So, why Spong? Here's the deal. I believe that Spong has picked up where Charles Fillmore left off. You know, in the late 1800s, Charles Fillmore had a healing experience, and his wife had a healing experience in their bodies as a result of affirmative prayer, of recognizing that the God presence, the spiritual divine presence was right there in their bodies, in their hearts, in their minds, and that presence was calling forth an experience of greater life within them and health and well-being, love. And so as they prayed, their bodies were healed. And that created an opportunity for Charles, who was a deep thinker anyway, who'd grown up reading the Bible, reading Shakespeare, reading Plato. It took him into an understanding that the world's religions cannot necessarily be wrong, but they might need to be understood in the 19th century science that he was privy to. And so he took apart all of the Christian creeds and came to a different understanding using the science of his time, including ethers and atoms. He used Newtonian physics, and he used the Darwinian evolution theories that were the most advanced science of his time to come to a new understanding of what spirituality really was and what the Christian message was about. For me, I grew up thinking that the Bible was primarily myth, and that as myth, it had great power and could provide information about my own life. And this was one of Charles Fillmore's great teachings, as he used metaphysics from Plato primarily to come to an understanding of the stories of the Bible. He used allegory. It's used commonly in churches today. But he didn't have access, like Bishop Spong has had, to the biblical critical thinking that we have now, or the new studies that we have based in archaeology, history. And so his understanding of what the Bible stories were about is different than what we know now. One of my most valued beliefs about unity is that because Charles Fillmore was so certain that we could trust science to understand our own spiritual lives, that means that we can change with science. We are not stuck in unity to a theology that was created in the 4th century at the Nicene Council. It's just not the thing. So when Bishop Spong came along and he started writing all these books, at first I didn't pay any attention, because the very first things he started writing about were about sexuality. Actually, the need for churches to open their doors to lesbian, gay, transgender people, which, in the 70s, and he was writing about that, unity was already doing that. My faith tradition was already doing it. So it really didn't seem to apply. But as he continued to provide us with more and more, what I've come to find out is so much of the Bible is a literal genius work. Here's just a little example. There's a story about Jesus in his last week walking into Jerusalem. And on his way into Jerusalem, he passes a fig tree. Now, the story in the Bible says that as he passed the fig tree, he saw that there were no figs on it, even though it wasn't the time for figs, and he cursed it. So then he goes into Jerusalem. This is a story about him turning the tables of the temple. He gets to the temple and he says, you've turned this temple into a den of thieves. And he turns the table of the money changers. And then it was late in the day. And so he leaves. And as they leave, he and his disciples see that the fig tree that he had cursed was withered, was dead. And so the question is, what does this have anything to do with theology? What is he teaching there? And I think that Bishop Spong provided to me this understanding that was a literary construct that they used to frame the story of what Jesus did. It didn't actually happen, but it framed the story of what he did. He went into the temple and he said, you know what, this is wrong and it should stop. And so then on the way out, it was stopped, right? The fig tree becomes the allegory of the action. I love this, having an understanding of what's really in the Bible. And that particular story, that particular literary measure is used over and over again. And again, the other thing that Spong taught is that particular chapter, that book, all of the Gospels, were written after the temple had been destroyed in Jerusalem. And so it set Jesus up to be a future teller, right? He was able to see what was going to happen in the future. But the truth, of course, is that he was not around when the temple was destroyed. That happened some 40 years after his death. That kind of information is really important because it makes the Bible more accessible. So I am extremely grateful to Spong. You know, his motto was love wastefully. And he believed that that's what the Christian message, what the Jesus message was really all about. That that's what our call is to, and that is what brings us into the greatest expression of humanity, is to love wastefully. At Unity of Olympia, you know, we have provided service projects for us to all participate in, to participate in loving wastefully. To love wastefully means to love, to give of ourselves, our time, our energy, our talent, perhaps even our money, for something in which we'll never get anything back. To waste something is to not receive a return. But the truth is that what loving wastefully does is it gives us a return in emotion, in love. Because that is what our greatest desire is to love, to be loving. And then in return, what we get is love. Living from my divine nature frees me. I want to show a video about one of the service projects that Unity of Olympia is involved in. This is the shower bus sponsored by Build a Bus Homes. So the volume is not great. I made the video myself. I hope that you enjoy it. Hey, Hannah.
Hi.
You going to give us a tour of the shower bus?
Yep.
Excellent. I'm going to follow you up the stairs.
Okay, so on this side we have individual stalls. So this one is a stall we're not using because we have to go every other for COVID restrictions. So this would be a stall that we are using, and it goes all the way down here. And we clean them after every shower, and they can come in here. And then on the other side is the view side, and that's for couples or individuals that come. This is for groups of men or groups of women that come in.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what do the showers have in them?
So we provide the hygiene bags at the table, and so they just have the water here, and we provide soap or extra hygiene supplies at the table, and clothing and towels.
Hey, Hannah, what's this?
This is where they can wash their face or shave if they need to, or if they use bar soap at all, they use it here so it doesn't clog the drains in the shower trailer, or they can brush their teeth here. So,
Nice.
yeah. We also have hair shavers where we can cut their hair, so we do it out here too. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, this is Alicia and Damon, and they're here today to take a shower. Is that right, guys?
Yeah.
So what does it mean that there's a place where you can come and take a shower?
It means that you can keep yourself sanitized and clean and keep yourself from getting sick, as well as with the Brio Tech spray, you have something to take with you to clean up during the week. And we qualified, for apartments, and we sat there so long waiting for somebody to move. They wanted another deposit, another screening fee. So, until something opens up. In addition to showers, there's many, many resources. They have clothing, they have food sometimes. They have Melina here today, but I've seen other organizations here. They've done COVID shots here. It's about attaching yourself to the community and working with these people. Like Lisa's a great person to work with, and Betsy, we have, and Hannah too. We have just, really gotten a lot of resources. That's how we hooked up with family support. You go to a friend's house and get a shower, you're not gonna be able to hook up with the services that are available to the community
Mm-hmm.
without that knowledge. And Lisa does a very good job of keeping all events that are coming up listed and known, so that when you come in to get a shower, if there's something else happening in the community that may help you, the information is huge right there.
Well, so this isn't here every week. What's going on here?
So we are CMAR, Community Health Centers. We promote health awareness and obviously our clinics and local services. But we're here to bring resources to the community members, obviously from food stamps and health insurance.
Wow, that's fabulous. And I see you also have goodies like toothbrushes and socks, and these are giveaway items for people who might need them.
Health essential needs, it all depends on what the need is. So we have a little bit of everything for them.
Hey, what's your name?
Ernesto Mejia.
I'm Lisa Gelati with Build a Bus Home. I founded the organization, and I'm the executive director, and all around do whatever needs to be done. And it's just really rewarding. So many times I've been really close to homelessness, my roommate and I, and still in that situation where it could be any day. And I knew that other people were out suffering, and so I wanted to do something to alleviate, help in some way.
So this is pretty exciting to me, because what I hear you saying is that you are on the edge. You live on the edge now.
Correct.
And so what you've decided to do is to give
back.
To give of yourself.
Yep, I had this amazing, God nudge, and I can't turn that away. Can't say no, I thought about it and I said, really? Really? I guess I gotta say yes.
But that has been a powerful experience too. Seeing the gratitude of people, being able to get showers. We take that for granted, being able to clean, and have our hair clean and whatever, and to see the gratitude of people who maybe haven't showered for a long time come, or those who look forward to a weekly shower here. Yeah, I'm happy that Unity has been involved in these both really important service projects.
Because the more we can help take care of each other, the better we are going to be able to improve our situation and move forward, so that we're moving steps up in life instead of just staying there or going down.
Amen. I'm so proud that our community has chosen to provide this location, share our location to provide this service to people who are without. We don't get anything in return for that. We are loving, perhaps wastefully, except that when we realize that we are living a spiritual life and we are all connected one to another, then we're called to give. This month has been a month of grief and gratitude for me. Our friend John Hansen, I'm going to show you a picture of John. You may or may not remember him. John Hansen passed a couple weeks ago now. He was a musician, and in 2015, I presented him. I had the honor of presenting John with the Youth Services Award from Unity Worldwide Ministries, because he had been in service to our teens at Unity of Olympia for decades. I think I actually met John in the early 90s when I was involved with the youth at that time at a Gold Bar Youth Team Conference. He is a lovely man, and he loved wastefully. I'm honored that he was part of our community. I grieve his loss, And I'm so grateful that he shared his life with us, his love with us. Just like John Shelby Spong. You know, here's a picture of me and John Shelby Spong. This was, I think, 2016. He was a guest up at Unity of Linwood, and a group of us drove up there to hear him speak. You know, I am moved by the teachings of these men through their examples, through their words, through their love that they have given to the world. And I'm reminded of the teaching from the book of Mark. Oh, I'm sorry, this one's from John, but it's in every one of the Gospels. A new commandment I give you. Love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, you will know, everyone will know, that you are my disciples, if you love one another. Today's scripture quote in the Daily Word. In God, we live and move and have our being. And the affirmation, living from my divine nature frees me. To live from my divine nature is to live from love. Let us move into a time of meditation with music.
How about we open our hearts and call forward a new day dawning? You ready for that? There's a new day dawning, I can feel the sun come up in my heart. There's a joy that's arising in this whole wide world, and we can feel it in our hearts. And everybody's free, free, we're free. Yes, we are, we're all free, free, free. There's a new day dawning, I can feel the sun come up in our heart. There's a joy that's arising in this whole wide world, and we can feel it in our hearts. And everybody's free, free, free. Yes, we are, we're all free, free, we're free. And everybody's free, free, free. Yes, we are, we're all free, free, we're free.
And so let's take this opportunity to move into a time of meditation. I invite you to settle more deeply in your chair. Perhaps you'll put your hands, palms up and empty, and your feet resting fully on the floor. I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable, and if not, to find a focal point that your eyes might rest. And let us just breathe in the moment. Breathe to become centered. Breathing in and out, conscious of the breath. A new command I give you. Love one another. We open to this awareness of the divine love that lives within. We call it forth, that we may experience love in this moment. We're so grateful for this truth that the love within me, given freely, is returned to me. The divine presence lives in and through and as me in the experience of love. We open our hearts that we may feel love. I invite you to generate that experience of love right now. Bring to mind the people that you love. And then let that experience of love move beyond those people to the people that you barely know. And then into the world for all humanity. As we relax into this experience, this expression of love as emotion, we are one with the divine presence. The human experience is one of love. The divine experience is one of love. In this time of quiet reflection, we invite the wisdom of God, the divine, our highest self, to speak to us of love in the silence. I am loving. I am love. I express love. I give and receive love. And so I fulfill my destiny. We're so grateful for this opportunity to know the truth of our beings, to be open to the wisdom of our souls, and to move it forward into the world that we may love wastefully in all things.
How about we open our hearts and call forward a new day dawning? You ready for that? There's a new day dawning, I can feel the sun come up in my heart. There's a joy that's arising in this whole wide world, and we can feel it in our hearts. And everybody's free, free, we're free. Yes, we are, we're all free, free, free. There's a new day dawning, I can feel the sun come up in our heart. There's a joy that's arising in this whole wide world, and we can feel it in our hearts. And everybody's free, free, free. Yes, we are, we're all free, free, we're free. And everybody's free, free, free. Yes, we are, we're all free, free, we're free.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. I hope that there's something that fed you spiritually and lifts you up and encourages you to be the love that you really are. And if this message has blessed you in any way, I invite you to share it with others. Hey, let's see what. Oh, yeah. And if you'd like to support our ministry at Unity of Olympia, you can do that at unityofolympia.org. I think it's a bright orange donate button. And we're just honored to be a part of your life. Hey, let's close in prayer. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. I'm so grateful to have spent this time